Carolyn Leavitt is struggling in her role, and Donald Trump just made her job significantly harder. The racist post he shared last night drew near universal condemnation, one of the most criticized moments we've seen from this administration. But beyond the controversy itself, Trump undermined the very narrative Leavitt was trying to construct. This morning, Carolyn Leavitt defended the president, claiming the offensive post came from an unnamed staffer. Then, moments ago aboard Air Force One, Donald Trump contradicted her entirely. Actually, I did it. I looked at the post he stated plainly, completely dismantling her explanation. Republicans called out the situation from the beginning, but now Leavitt faces an even more uncomfortable position, being confronted by Laura Ingraham on Fox News, the administration's typically friendly outlet. The exchange was revealing, and Leavitt visibly struggled under questioning. It's been a disastrous day for Carolyn Leavitt. The entire narrative collapsed when Trump himself acknowledged authorship on Air Force One, leaving his press secretary without credible defense on what should have been sympathetic territory.
Do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President, social media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people to generally they look at the whole thing. But
Carolyn Leavitt is struggling in her role, and Donald Trump just made her job significantly harder. The racist post he shared last night drew near universal condemnation, one of the most criticized moments we've seen from this administration. But beyond the controversy itself, Trump undermined the very narrative Leavitt was trying to construct. This morning, Carolyn Leavitt defended the president, claiming the offensive post came from an unnamed staffer. Then, moments ago aboard Air Force One, Donald Trump contradicted her entirely. Actually, I did it. I looked at the post he stated plainly, completely dismantling her explanation. Republicans called out the situation from the beginning, but now Leavitt faces an even more uncomfortable position, being confronted by Laura Ingraham on Fox News, the administration's typically friendly outlet. The exchange was revealing, and Leavitt visibly struggled under questioning. It's been a disastrous day for Carolyn Leavitt. The entire narrative collapsed when Trump himself acknowledged authorship on Air Force One, leaving his press secretary without credible defense on what should have been sympathetic territory.
I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we took it, But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. And they had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on the Lion King, and certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it, and probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on the Lion King, and a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great.
Carolyn Leavitt is repeating the lie that a staffer posted the racist content. Some unnamed individual who supposedly has access to, let's be clear, the most powerful social media account in the world. Donald Trump has dictated foreign and domestic policy via social media for years. The idea that some unidentified staffer could access this account and hypothetically post that we're going to war with Canada after a few drinks, that should deeply concern everyone. There's another critical issue with Leavitt's defense that's being overlooked. She keeps dismissing this as just a meme. She repeatedly frames it as, well, he posted a meme, as if that somehow diminishes the problem. But here's the reality. Being a meme doesn't make racist content acceptable. The format is irrelevant. The content was racist. That's what matters. Even Laura Ingraham recognizes this. She's pointing out that Republicans themselves are condemning the post, not excusing it because of its format. The "it's just a meme" defense holds no water, and Ingraham is calling out that weak justification directly.
Issue after issue at the same time, and I know you've been dealing with this today, but Donald Trump's Truth Social post set off a firestorm online. I only noticed it this morning because I was writing, but it was a video that he had posted portraying Michelle and Barack Obama with an 8 motif, and I guess there were other politicians who were portrayed in other animal motifs as an internet meme. Tim Scott, Senator, obviously African-American.
Leavitt simply doesn't have an answer. She's floundering, and frankly, it's revealing to watch. She appears genuinely surprised. Perhaps she expected softball questions from Fox News, traditionally the administration's most sympathetic outlet. But she shouldn't have been surprised. This is exactly the pattern we consistently see from Donald Trump. Controversial posts followed by contradictory explanations and shifting narratives. Then Trump himself weighed in with his own version of events, directly contradicting his press secretary's carefully constructed defense. And his explanation? It sounded even worse than the original controversy.
American said he was praying it was fake because it was the most racist thing he'd ever seen out of the White House. The president should remove it. Caroline, I know the president did remove it, deleted it, but it was up for, I think, 12 hours or something like that. How did this happen, and can you really throw a staffer under the bus for this?
Well, look, Laura, it was a meme that was posted by a staffer on the president's Truth Social account. It was from a Lion King video depicting, as you pointed out, different Democrats as different animals. I think Kamala Harris was depicted as a turtle in this video meme. The president did take it down. He spoke with lawmakers today out of respect for them, including Senator Tim Scott. The post was removed. But Leavitt.
Well, quite frankly, I'm not racist, and I love all the people. People are good. I'm not racist. I think you see the least racist guy ever. Remember when Donald Trump proclaimed himself the least racist person in any room? Perhaps we should have recognized the warning signs earlier. Maybe not believed the man who implemented discriminatory housing policies with his slumlord father in the 1970s. But here we are. Black history under attack. We should be discussing Black history not just during Black History Month, but every day, because Black history is American history. Yet Donald Trump is specifically targeting Black Americans. Is it coincidental that 2 journalists he had arrested were Black? Absolutely not. That he disproportionately attacks Representative Jasmine Crockett? Absolutely not. The pattern is unmistakable. Why they want to erase this history? The Trump administration's assault on Black history is strategic. If you want to understand what a police state looks like, what oppression through militarized force means, examine Black history in America. The answers are all there. The liberation movements within the Black community provide a roadmap for resisting fascism and authoritarian takeovers. They demonstrate how to fight back against violent, unchecked policing. This is precisely why Trump and Stephen Miller want to strip away this history. They don't want Americans to recognize that resistance to authoritarianism is deeply, fundamentally American. The current attack. This explains their systematic targeting of Black Americans, Black history, and Black leaders currently making history. Trump actively tried to remove Black people already in positions of power within his administration, attempting to delegitimize them at every turn. Day became his closing campaign message and his administration's opening salvo, a lie he weaponized even as aviation systems puffed by diverse, qualified professionals continued functioning perfectly. The woke planes he warned about, they never fell from the sky. Chris Hayes recently illuminated additional dimensions of this assault that deserve fuller acknowledgement. The self-proclaimed least racist man in America has implemented unmistakably racist policy from day one.
It's not just Democrats. There are Republican senators, Pete Ricketts, others saying, look, we understand it was, but the president should just come out and apologize for it and say, look, this was a mistake. Sorry if it offended anyone. Why not?
Well, look, I won't get ahead of the president, Laura, and he may be speaking with the press later today, but he did take down the post. And again, this is merely a distraction for the fake news media from Trump or X last night, from the fact that this week it was revealed 0 illegal aliens were released into our country again for 9 months in a row, another historic achievement of this administration. The fact that this week we saw the data murder rates in this country the lowest since 1900. I mean, these are unbelievable results on behalf of all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, whether they live in a red state or a blue state. And we fight extremely hard here every single day to get the fake news media to pay attention to the wins and the achievements that I see this president firsthand working around the clock to accomplish and to deliver on behalf of this great country, which he loves so much.
If I had to assess the situation objectively, Trump demonstrates racist behavior, not just a little, but substantially. Perhaps that's why he's constantly using those hand gestures, as if to emphasize his disdain for anyone who doesn't resemble Stephen Miller or Carolyn Leavitt. Though frankly, that's not exactly an aspirational standard. Moving forward, that's enough Trump analysis for tonight, but we'll continue calling out this behavior. The work of documenting and resisting these policies doesn't stop. If you want to support this kind of accountability journalism, hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. If you made it to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Most importantly, keep fighting. Don't let them silence you. Until next time.